Welcome to Golden Blue, everybody, home of the college football fan. And don't forget about the checklist. Hat check, sunglasses check, Pepsi check, notes check, sources check, and thick skin is a check. And don't forget to sing gear to represent your team and yourself in my background. Send it to P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina, 29657, and get yourself a shout out. On to the next video. In case you're wondering, these are the teams that we don't have represented for the mini helmets. As you can see, we actually have quite a few big brands that's not represented here at Golden Blue. So get your team represented here on Golden Blue. Hey, you already know what time it is, so might as well sit down, brace yourself, and buckle up because you are entering the speculation zone. Well, it could be, I'm not saying it is, but it could be that Fresno State is trying to pull a fast one in order to get a tax proposition passed in the next ballot. Like I said, this is a could-be situation. This is not a prediction. This is not what I'm saying, but I'm saying it could be. Let me go over this again. That way it'll make sense. First up, a Get It Gang comment. If you don't know what the Get It Gang is, it's basically a name that I came up with for a group of people that leave video ideas in the comment section of my videos. So if you think that you have a good video idea, leave your video idea comment in this video or any other video, and I just might use it in my next video. This is from Big 12 Plus. He says, GBD, do you think that Fresno State might be using the Big 12 rumors to help with the vote for the tax program on the upcoming ballot for money to update, improve their sports facilities? That is a possibility. What am I talking about? Well, I made a video the other day about the Big 12 possibly talking to Fresno State, and here's the article that I read. This was from Backboard, a Fresno State source. Keep that in mind. Conference realignment, Fresno State University reportedly confirms Big 12 interest in Bulldogs. The Big 12 Conference has shown interest in Fresno State University as a potential expansion candidate. University President Saul Jimenez Sandoval reportedly confirmed via San Joaquin Valley Sun. Jimenez Sandoval during a Thursday confab concerning a sales tax initiative, Measure E, that would benefit academic and athletic projects at Fresno State. And there's interest on the Big 12's end regarding the Bulldogs as the league looks to establish a presence on the West Coast per the Sun. Measure E, which is this tax thing that we've been talking about, if passed, could be the ticket to upgrades for Fresno State that would at least boost the school's candidacy to join a Power 5 conference as an expansion candidate. Among targeted projects by Fresno State per the Sun are a $160 million renovation project to Valley Children's Stadium, the football stadium, and a $47 million renovation of the Duncan Athletic Center, the basketball stadium. The campaign to pass Measure E is second in as many years, so it's been voted down previously. Per the Sun, Fresno County voters opted against Measure E this past November by a 47.14% versus a 52.86% vote. So it was close. Fresno State has been linked to expansion rumors concerning both the Big 12 and Pac-12 within the past year after USC and UCLA announced in June 2022 that they will depart the Pac-12 for the Big Ten in 2024. Fresno State, a member of the Mountain West Conference since 2012, is one of 7 base California schools that compete at the FBS level in college football. Joined by USC, UCLA, San Diego State, San Jose State, Cal, and Stanford, fellow Mountain West members San Diego State and San Jose State are the only other Group of 5 FBS programs in California. San Diego State has been widely reported as a top expansion target of the Pac-12, as it looks to retain some presence in Southern California with USC and UCLA on the way out. Fresno State does have an existing Big 12 connection via its equestrian program, which joined as an affiliate member of the league several years ago. So yes, they talked about the Big 12 in talks with Fresno State, but if you look at that article, they focused on that tax measure that's going to be on the ballot. And even the Swaim Show said this. Many talking about Fresno State to the Big 12, so most of the day talking to multiple sources. The only people saying that Fresno State has been contacted by Yormark are Fresno folks. Big 12 sources have confirmed talks with several schools, but not Fresno. At least not as of today. Whoa. That's a big deal. By the way, I have been mispronouncing a certain show. It is not the Swaim Show. It's the Swaim Show. And I appreciate him telling me on Twitter. Apparently he's gotten wind of my videos. He wasn't mean about it or anything else, but I have been mispronouncing his show's name. It is not the Swaim Show. It is the Swaim Show. My bad. And that article that I read was from a Fresno source. So the Swaim Show is saying, well, we're hearing the rumors, but only from Fresno talks. And from what we saw in the article, Fresno State really wants that tax bill to be passed. So could they be using the Big 12 rumors to get that passed? It's very, very possible. I'm not saying that's exactly what's going on, but it makes a lot of sense. And honestly, if that is what is going on, I'm not trash talking Fresno State. That's really, really smart. Whenever I made that video about that, I actually listed the teams as far as their value according to the Big 12, in my opinion. I listed 1, Utah, Arizona, 2, Colorado, Arizona State, 3, Oregon State, Washington State, 4, San Diego State, and Fresno State. So no, I don't have neither Fresno State nor San Diego State at the top of the list. But Fresno State is insisting that the Big 12 has been talking to them and that could be a real reason why they could pass the tax measure. This makes a lot of sense. They want that tax measure passed so that they can upgrade their facilities. That way they can fund it via the public. And it was voted down before by a thin margin, but it was voted down before. Maybe they're thinking, hey, if we create these rumors of the Big 12 interested in Fresno State and confirm those rumors ourselves, then we can get that thin majority that we need because we only missed it by a little bit. It didn't need a massive campaign to try to get that majority flipped. It's just a thin majority. So it is possible. It's possible that Fresno State is trying to use these rumors to get this tax measure passed. And it's smart. It's really, really smart. I don't blame them at all for doing that if that's what they're doing. Honestly, I think the Pac-12 should be interested in Fresno State. To me, if the Pac-12 is going to expand, they need to look at San Diego State and Fresno State first. Why? Because they lost USC and UCLA, and no, Fresno State and San Diego State does not make up even close to what they lose with those two teams, but it gives them a presence in Southern California in that recruiting. Remember, by losing USC and UCLA, they lost a big-time recruiting base for the Pac-12. So it's going to be way more difficult to recruit in Southern Cal unless you can have a presence. And on top of that, this terrible TV deal that we're hearing, ESPN offering $90 million a year, which divided by 10 teams with no expansions, that's $9 million per team per year. So the Pac-12 might not be able to expand at all. That deal in and of itself is going to hurt recruiting for the Pac-12. On top of that, not being able to expand with San Diego State and Fresno State, that's going to hurt recruiting as well. This is a lose-lose situation for the Pac-12, and maybe Fresno State knows this. Maybe Fresno State knows that the Pac-12 can't expand now because of this bad TV deal, because as is divided by 10 teams, no extra teams, it's already a bad deal. You add in more teams and they have to cut the pie even more. So maybe they know, hey, the Pac-12's chances of actually expanding, not very good right now. So what do we need to do to get this tax measure passed? Let's validate these rumors that the Big 12 has been talking to us. The only problem is the Big 12 sources aren't confirming this rumor. So it looks like it's a Fresno State-sided type of rumor. So is it possible that Fresno State is latching onto these rumors to try to get this tax measure passed? Absolutely, 100%. In fact, it would be very smart for Fresno State to do that. At the same time, it is possible that the Big 12 is interested in Fresno State. Although Fresno State is lower on the totem pole, they're more interested in the Power 5 teams from the Pac-12. But it's possible that the Big 12 could be interested in Fresno State. Honestly, I think it's more likely that Fresno State is using these rumors of the Big 12 to get this tax measure passed. I mean, it makes a ton of sense. And it wouldn't make a lot of sense for the Big 12 to be interested in Fresno State over the Pac-12 teams. So I'm just going by what my opinion is. I think the chances are more in favor of Fresno State using the Big 12 rumors to try to get this tax measure passed. So y'all in the comment section, number one, do you think Fresno State is using these Big 12 rumors to try to get Measure E, aka the tax measure I've been talking about, passed? Or do you think the Big 12 is actually interested in Fresno State? Number two, with this bad TV deal on the table, what do you think the chances of the Pac-12 actually expanding are now? It's already bad with the current 10 members. If they add more, they're going to have to split the pie even more. Do you think the Pac-12 actually expands now? That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.